Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. What's going on, people? Happy Thursday. It's April 17th, 2025. I am so excited. I don't know why, but I just got this wave of excitement that came over me as soon as I was getting ready to start. Like, I don't know, it's just this little jolt of energy I got. So whatever that means, whatever that's for, I'll take it. I hope that you're having a great day. Did I say it's Thursday, April 17th? I think I did. I feel like I did. I remember saying the year, but for some reason I don't remember saying the date. That's weird. Or the day. Anyway, I hope that you are having a great week. This one has flown by for me personally, but slowly. It's weird, if that makes any sense, because it's like I've had so much to do that the days have been passing by fast. But today kind of felt like, actually yesterday, to be honest, felt like a Friday, strangely, and it's only Thursday today. So I don't know what that is. It's like kind of topsy-turvy, where it feels like I'm moving through the day fast, but the week is like slowed down. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But anyway, I'm thankful for it all. I really, really am. I'm thankful for being busy when I need to be and having the liberty to rest when I need to and when I want to, quite honestly. So without further ado, I always like to cut it in half the last time, which I did not. So let's cut it one more time and see what we got today. Oh, well, first of all, as you can see, we got two cards peeking out at the bottom at me, which were on the top of the deck: the Lovers and the Hermit, and the Two of Pentacles. Ooh, is there some decision making happening, or some it's not decision making, it's, I would say, it's weighing option. No, what is this? I feel something on this Two of Pentacles. It's something about timing. Like trying to, it's giving me the energy of somebody that's like ready to go, because it's the Lovers and the Hermit speaks about, I feel like those energies are strong choices, or like certain decision. But the Two of Pentacles is like complete opposite of that. So that's why I feel like it's something about someone trying to gauge the perfect timing for something. Like how when you trying to, if jump in a double dutch rope, which I can't even really jump very well double dutch, but I know that there's a certain timing and the rhythm to it, that you kind of, whatever, but jumping in a rope, period, that's what is giving me that energy of like, all right, I gotta get in there. I know it's when the rope is turning, it ain't no other thing left to do but to jump in, but it's just like you don't want to get smacked up by that rope jumping in on the wrong rhythm. So it's like really the perfect timing with the Hermit card. That's Virgo energy. Like sometimes it can be about perfection in your choosing, or in your in the direction that you choose, perhaps. But it feels like, I'm just going to say it plain. It feels like somebody having identified some ideal situation for them, and they're sure of it. They see the benefits of whatever they're idolizing clear as day with this Hermit card. They probably have molded over for a long time, like maybe even thinking of all the pros and cons, the best case scenario, the worst case scenario, every which way they can approach it, to the point where they've gotten to a place of certainty, you know, and assurance about what they want, what they desire, what they want to do, you know, how they want to, like they may even have a whole plan in action with this Hermit energy of like exactly how they kind of want to pursue a thing, or again, like insert themselves within some dynamic, yet again, like that jump rope, you know. But it's something about timing. Like this Two of Pentacles is almost giving me like I said, like that anxiousness, you know, like black girls, you know how your hands be like back and forth. I wish you could see my whole body when you're trying to like gauge the rhythm of the rope. And like I said, there's nothing left to do once the rope is turning but to jump in. You got to jump in at some point. But you just want to get right in there so you can get as much momentum going as possible. It's something like that here. Like somebody doesn't want to jump in too soon. They also don't want to jump in too late. With this Two of Pentacles, it's like they don't want to go too soon and it be, you know, it kind of throw off the rhythm, and they get smacked up by the ropes. Maybe somebody feeling like they could get rejected if they pursue something too fast. But they also don't want to wait too long for the sake of perfection and, you know, perfect timing, so to speak, and risk missing out, you know, or literally missing out with this Two of Pentacles on an opportunity. So somebody trying to weigh their, I don't know, like gauge the rhythm, read the room, gauge the frequency. It's really more so about divine timing than it is perfect timing, which I guess maybe some would say is one and the same depending on who you asking. But yes, like somebody, but here it is. Here's the difference. Because if it were up to somebody, they'd jump in right away. And maybe they should, but that's the thing, they don't know. You know, like if it was up to somebody on their own time, and it would be like no time like the present, you know. But then it's got somebody contemplating, well, is my timing in alignment? Is my timing right? You know, is it, or should I wait? You know, am I off a hair, a second, a minute, a decade, a lifetime? You know what I mean? Like somebody's really trying to gauge, is this the moment? And I would say with the Hermit card and the Lovers, there's something ordained about this moment where somebody doesn't really need to second guess themselves as much as they are. And it's interesting that the Two of Pentacles was the card that I could see the most, and it was the Lovers and the Hermit that were kind of peeking out from the bottom, which to me kind of implies that this is what someone is in contemplation about. This is what's in their mind. And it could even be somebody thoughtful still in the same vein about, again, jumping into some type of partnership or collaborative dynamic, or to stay in solitude, or stay single, or stay hidden, even with the Hermit card, like to kind of stay disconnected. Yeah, maybe somebody thoughtful about whether or not they're ready, the timing is right for them to be in a partnership, no matter how much, you know, they might be eager or excited for it. It's like, well, am I ready to measure up to what this Lover's energy is calling me to? But the Hermit here, you know, that Virgo energy, it's like, it's saying that you couldn't be more ready. You know, like somebody couldn't be more ready based on what Virgo represents. Like somebody that is almost a perfectionist. And it's like you couldn't be more ready because you've already dotted your I's and crossed your T's, done the research, ran the numbers, again, considered the pros and cons, the best case, the worst case, the fail safe, like everything has already been, all bases are covered. But for an energy like the Hermit, the same is true, that it can never be perfect enough. Like you could watch that rope swing around all day long, all life long, and you would still find something based on the standards of a hermit energy to want to be better at or do better on, or want to fine tune some area of your life or of yourself before you jump in. But this Two of Pentacles is saying that, like, time is already moving, the ropes are turning. What are you going to do? There'll never be a more perfect time, a more perfect you, a more ideal situation than what it is right now. Yep. Well, we're going to start fresh on that note, because that was pretty cool. Not going to lie, I'm intrigued. But let's see if we stay in that vein. That might have just been a little opening message. Might have nothing to do with nothing, but let's cut them again and shuffle fresh. Wow, Ten of Pentacles. Let's see what else we got. Oh, well, that tried to sneak out, so I'll take it. Ooh, wow. Like I said, never going to be any more perfect than it is right now. Come on in, the water's fine with this Nine of Cups. So we got the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Let's just get one more while we at it. And the Strength card. There's the confidence. It's like that Two of Pentacles is somebody, again, surveying the land. Now, that is the decision-making card. That is the choice being made, the direction decided upon. Like somebody's kind of surveying the land, considering their, the territory that they are looking to conquer, or the land they're looking to charter, whatever, however you want to see it. It's like somebody's has weighed their options, taken a look at the big picture, and has made a definite choice in a particular direction, which is good news coming off of the Two of Pentacles if we're still piggybacking off of that energy. And it's either saying that somebody is quite supremely esteemed in their choice with the Nine of Cups and the Strength, or they will find great satisfaction on the other side of their ambition. Yeah, it's like the two after the Ten of Pentacles is like somebody seeing something having a great, like, so much value that it's like they couldn't. It's like seeing something that's so precious that they would feel like foolish not to. It's like an offer you can't refuse type of thing. Like, how can I not? Even with all of my concessions, considerations, concerns, grievances, maybe even past experiences, fears, perhaps disappointments, anything that would come up in that Two of Pentacles energy, which kind of represents insecurity in a in a general sense, you know, some insecurity or instability. It's like seeing something that, you know, drives you or compels you to move toward it because it's just too tempting or just too grand of an opportunity to allow yourself to hold yourself back. That's what it comes down to. And as I said, either finding the reality of that perceived value to be true in the Ten of Pentacles, or that being the allure, the allure, the drive, and or also seeing the potential for satisfaction, or also finding it, you know, on account of having that strong will, and the courage is what the Strength card is represented. And I feel like the Nine of Cups is almost like being pleased with yourself because you took the you took the risk. Yeah, like you jumped in the rope. You know, it's like taking that risk to get smacked up, but you know, lo and behold, finding out that you're right on time. You know, your rhythm is just right. You get a good jump in, and you know, the enders or the people around are singing the song damn near all the way through to the end. You know what I mean? And you're satisfied with your progress, you know, of which it couldn't have been guaranteed for sure. Except for, you know, just, I mean, it's like it couldn't have been guaranteed, but nothing, it also couldn't have been like there, how can I say this? You couldn't have guaranteed that or you can't guarantee, let's say, if this hasn't occurred yet, you can't guarantee that the outcome will be holistically satisfying, but in this case it would be more it would be more sad to have not taken the chance, only to find out what all could have been if you did. You know, it's like, oh no, I don't want to jump in, and then finding out that it wasn't really as scary or as hard or challenging as you thought it was. Like real primitive, especially coming off the Lover's card, like somebody working themselves up to like ask somebody out, or like ask somebody on a date, or proposition them for a relationship, or to take something to another level. And or it maybe even propose. There's no real evidence for that yet, but it could be something like that deep. It could be actually with the Ten of Pentacles, if somebody's seeing long-term longevity, you know, in their decision, or at least hoping for it. And maybe that's the thing. It feels like somebody just has a lot riding on their courage, you know, to take this step, to make this move, to take this chance, to put themselves out there, you know what I mean, to be vulnerable in some way. Yeah, vulnerable with the Nine of Cups. They're taking a big risk that they find is worth taking, but it's also like, when you know you're working yourself up, like you've already ran over in your mind, well, what would I do if they say no, or if they say I'm not interested, or not right now, or now's not a good time, or what if they do want to go, then what do I take them, you know what I mean, like what's next after that, you know, like not really knowing, working yourself up about all the things, you know, that haven't even occurred yet. It's like somebody seeing their whole future, the one that would be most ideal, play out in front of them, and that is satisfying. But they're also kind of grappling with the possibility of it all crumbling too. But the thing that I want to like highlight with this particular pile is somebody agonizing, perhaps, over what could go wrong still, but then stepping into it and finding out that the response or the outcome was even, it like far exceeded their best expectations. That's what I'm getting from here. It's like, it's the smooth, like it was the smoothest. It's like, you know what you may not know this movie, but I'm gonna say it because it's so vivid. It's like Brown Sugar, right? And that movie Brown Sugar, it's a black movie, so if you're not black, maybe you didn't see it, but most black people have seen it. But it's like the dynamic between Queen Latifah and Mos Def, where he was kind of in his own right, he's kind of like this, this dope hip hop artist, don't give a F type energy, like knows his skill is superior. And, when it comes to his artistry, he's super confident, but when it comes to this woman, what's her name? Queen Latifah's character, who's so wholesome and strong and independent in her own nature. Like, she kind of exudes this regal essence about her to him, as is depicted in the movie, where typically he would probably, you would surmise that he would be more confident to approach, or maybe that's how he should have been with women in general, but you don't get that sense. You get the sense that there's something about her that just makes him nervous, and the whole movie he spends trying to bridge this connection with her. And it's like watching him fumble every time, they have a chance, he has a chance to interact, where he's trying to be cool, he's trying to be collected, but it always seems, he always seems to kind of melt in her presence, which is funny and cute and really sweet. But up until the very end, he can't quite seal the deal, you know what I mean? And then at the very end, where he's building himself up yet again to have the courage to, have this deep connection with her, she finally just kind of interrupts him and was like, you want to go out with me? Like, let me put you out of your misery, for once and for all, as he's fumbling over his words and talking about stuff that don't even really matter. It's really cute, but that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from these vibes. Like, somebody that they want to turn it on. And well, anyway, when they finally do, they actually realize that the work is damn near done for them just by them being brave enough to step up to the plate. You know what I mean? So it's cute. It's really cute. It's cute. All right, so let's move on. Yeah, with this strength card, yeah, definitely could be some dynamic like that where somebody is intimidating. Yeah, that's what it was. She was kind of like intimidating to him. Probably because she was kind of like a no-nonsense character, very honest, didn't really, do too much stroking of his ego, regardless of who he was, quote unquote, even though in the movie he hadn't blown up yet. But she just really wasn't, she just wasn't all that wooed by his presence, as much as it probably would have comforted him for her to be, in order for it to be an easier connection. But that was probably also kind of part of the allure as well, that she wasn't so easy. She was a challenge. So, yeah. Wow. The Chariot card. Yeah, that's somebody definitely coming out with the win. Again, as I said, this is like a victory, a success of a great feat, victory in some great feat, a challenge that was faced and overcome in ways that does build confidence, that does kind of affirm someone's status or, ability, agility, what kind of like I said, you going after the girl of your dreams, the guy, well, more so, it feels more like I mean, it could be the other way around, but it's feeling more masculine in pursuit of feminine energy, but like going after a girl that seems like the ideal match, or it may seem like somebody that you could really get into, and you having all of this, all of these reservations about it, then you finally do it, and like I said, it comes out to be a big win for you, that you like, even bigger than just like, okay, she said yes, she'd like to go on a date, but like I said, it's like how it all goes over is so seamless that it almost makes you feel like it never was a challenge, like I was only the one challenging myself because of how seamless it goes. And then for there to be the outcome of it being something fulfilling, something that actually might have some inflection of happiness that yields some high value. Yeah, it's literally like finding that ideal match with the Lover's card that builds you up, masculine or feminine, that makes you feel like a warrior, feel like you can conquer the world. Yeah, here's the Six of Swords, definitely a crossover. It's like a new identity, a new reality that somebody is transitioning to on account of their bravery and honor and service. Whatever that means, I just heard that clearly. Their honorable service. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see what else is with that. And it's also like safe passageway too. Like it's not just, because the Chariot can also be like, like a police officer, and I'm feeling like they're being like almost like this being like a secure escort across a passageway that by definition of the card could be from turbulent waters to peaceful waters. So like being guided, and not just guided, but like, yeah, escorted, I guess is the only word for it. Like being chauffeured or escorted to some safe space. It's finding, okay, it's finding a passageway of self-assurance in the most unsuspecting, maybe in the most unsuspecting timeline. I heard unsuspecting timeline. So back to the time thing again, where it's like really somebody's like, damn, I could have done this years ago, I could have done this months ago, I could have done this lifetimes ago, and and it may or may not have panned out the way that it is now, because there's something about, like I said, divine timing that's aligning all things for it to kind of be easeful. Like I said, that's what this is given, like there being a transition that is smooth because everything is in alignment at this time. So where it's funny, because it feels like okay, so the key has been someone feeling self-assured in their presence, right? Whatever that means. It could have gone a certain way if somebody had found that assurance, that courage, that supreme self-esteem at another time. It could have, but that was the key, you know, that was like the transitional, like that was the, I don't know how to say it, like that was the key to the secret, like password or something, like the secret code or whatever, like until someone found their confidence, their security, their courage to jump in, you know, right, just as they are, right where they are, um, it would have never aligned in the way that it is now. And that is the reason why it's aligned. So, although it could be reflectively considered that, damn, if it's this easy at this point, then maybe it could have always been, perhaps, but only if the person that is kind of initiating all of this or activating it in whatever way was in the frequency that they are in now, where they may have been nervous, they may be still deeply considerate, they may still even have some doubts, but they're willing to jump in and do it anyway. Like, it matters more for them to take advantage of the opportunity at hand, and see the value of it all, and trust the potential, of it all unfolding for the best. Then it means it matters for them to be perfect or without blemish, you know what I mean? But the perfection of it all is somebody's willingness to do that, you know, despite the considerations. And again, the surprise element is just how smoothly things transition on account of that courage. And not just transition, but then how much more esteem building that experience is for future endeavors. You know, it almost makes everything seem small and insignificant, and completely surmountable for someone to have been able to do this thing, you know, to face this challenge. You know, for a lot of, like, if we're talking about guys, like the idea of rejection is sometimes extremely, you know, paralyzing. Just the sheer thought of not feeling good enough, especially for something that you feel a deep affinity for, someone you feel a deep affinity for, it can be devastating to consider. And then having to bypass all of that and shoot your shot anyway. Like, that's literally what this is with the two of wands, like with the world in his hands, somebody like shooting a shot at a, you know, at what is it, like a deal of a lifetime, or opportunity of a lifetime or something like that. And they're shaking in their boots, perhaps, you know, or it may be emotionally a bit rattled to do it, but they're determined nonetheless. And somebody would be well rewarded for that, you know, for that courage. Wow, and the lovers, and that popped out. I don't even know if you saw how that popped out. Wow. It's like this is like, she said yes. I just heard that. It's like this acceptance is giving somebody wings psychologically, if nothing else. Interesting. Let me get one more on here and then we'll move on. I think this will actually be pretty short. I say that now. I knew there was a reason I was excited about this message. I swear, like, I just got giddy and like tingly as soon as I was ready to push record. It's like, what the heck? Wow, with the world card, it's like starting, like I said, really starting a new life. Really starting a new life with someone and it being amazing. And it feels like it doesn't matter where this life takes two people. Let's just call it for what it is, you know. Why not? It's like wherever they are is home. You know, they make it home, they feel at home, they on vacation, they at home, they, out and about, they at home, like wherever these, however and wherever these two hearts are aligned, it is safety and there's safety and security there. It's whole, it's wholesome, it's fulfilling. And what's being left behind, what's being closed out, with how I'm seeing like one of them is covered, what's being left behind is this separation, is literally in alignment with all that, with what I've been saying, like some people stepping into a new reality of where maybe perhaps they once were single, ready to mingle, or maybe not so much. And now, finding themselves in a sacred union, a serious union at that. It's like literally going from being single, and that's actually what this energy is here with even with the Nine of Cups and the Strength card. This could be like a strong, independent woman. This could be Nine of Cups as a guy that's very content with being when they lonesome, doing their own thing, whatever that means, but not necessarily committed to anything in particular. But as we say with the Nine of Cups, the only thing missing is one more to get to the 10, which is again back to partnership and fulfillment, and within a union, or like a family connection, or even a soul family connection if it's not exclusively relational here, or romantic, I should say. It could be platonic, so, flip that how you will, but I feel the love vibes. I feel it. I mean, we had the lovers peek out twice now, and at every which way I started this was on love and on, commitment and coupling. So that's what it's given, like leaving behind your single life and charting new territory in a relationship, which for some might be, it might be quite foreign, to go from only having to really worry about yourself for the most part to now being considerate of someone else's presence, their feelings, their purpose, their passions, their well-being, their security. It's definitely, and that could also be a part of the thought process, especially for guys that are kind of like expected to take on this role of protector, or provider. There's a lot to think about for good guys that care enough to do, or to be, to be valuable in someone's life. There's a lot to think about and fill in those shoes. And that could be that contemplation as well. Like, do I have what it takes to really be a lover? Am I available? Am I emotionally available? Am I financially stable? Am I able and willing to commit? Am I tempered? And disciplined? Do I have all the bullshit out of my system? Or enough of it at least? All of these things. Not that ladies don't have their own contemplations, because they do, but it feels very heavy on the masculine side of really wanting to step up to the challenge and be prosperous within it. I love that though. That's really sweet. The World card is saying that whatever could have been an obstruction or a distraction, a disturbance in the Six of Swords is what is or has been or can be effectively left behind, just on account of the courage to do so. Like, even that's the case, that could even be a thing where somebody's wondering like how hard of a transition it could be to go from being alone to being within a unit, you know, a relationship. And if, you know, if it's going to be hard for the, as much as they may even desire it, like if it's going to be hard for them to kind of separate themselves from the things that may not be productive within that dynamic, you know, again, that Hermit card, that perfection energy, trying to like be the perfect man or perfect guy or woman or whatever, mom, that whatever it is that you want to perfect to be the ideal fit for something, is really, it speaks a lot to the character of a person that cares that much in the first place. And that's why I feel like it's going to be so much easier of a transition than anybody could ever even idealize for themselves in the best case scenario, simply on account of their strong will to want to be well within it. You know, that's what ultimately is going to help someone really transition seamlessly and probably, you know, at an accelerated, like accelerate themselves into a place of comfort and ease more quickly than they feel that uneasiness of the transition could be. You know, like I won't go too deep in that. Damn, that World card, man, that is really, that's deep. That's deep. Like, it's real deep with that World card. It's somebody that's like ending cycles of whatever it is that they've been working so hard to heal, perfect, change about themselves, evolve. It's like, well done. You have done it, sir. with the Chariot, like your will has seen you through it and to it, you know, and it might not even be something that somebody can really see on themselves from where they are, but that's the thing. That's probably the part about it, about getting in the rope, you know, to kind of see how well you actually adjust to it, because sometimes we don't really see ourselves by ourselves as clearly as we do once we do get into that reflective space of relationship in whatever form it is, friendship, you know, co-creativity, collaboration, romantic, platonic, familial, whatever it is. Like, you don't often see yourself but as clearly but through the eyes of others, you know, or how you experience the response and reaction to who you are. And I feel like a lot of people that have been so ambitious to want to make sure they were ready and to wait on divine timing and kind of, you know, deal with their baggage, quote unquote, as much as they possibly can, or to eliminate or release as much of it as they could, are really going to be exalted in a season where partnerships are aligning for the greatest good of all. It's changing, you know, the landscape of creation right now with the World card. That is the divine alignment. So if you find yourself in line with the desire to want to be a part of that agenda, and you more or less have like you know, positioned yourself to be an ideal candidate for a position so prestigious, the divine can't wait to promote. Can't wait. There's nothing this world needs more than love. Like real pure love. And then, You know, as they say, two heads are better than one. So two people on the same accord about that thing, absolutely. It must be accelerated. Yeah, look at this. That's what I'm saying. It's something, it's like a past recollection, or like a rebound or a retrieval. This is speaking to what I was saying about like whatever someone, you know, has been looking to overcome from the past, they absolutely have. And it's like not reincarnated, but like regenerated here as the best case scenario. You know, so however a relationship dynamic has maybe played out over and over for some, you know, the same old trauma, the same old codependency, the same old toxicity, the same old drama, you know, or somebody just being emotionally unavailable or resistant or cold or closed, afraid, abusive, like, or abused, whichever, like, however it pans out as the adverse of this sweet energy here with the Six of Cups. It's like it's come back around now on account of the hard work and dedication that someone has done on themselves to be better for themselves. Now there's a magneticism to have, with the Lover's card, there's a magneticism to have that equal exchange, that reciprocity of a frequency with something else, someone else, someplace else, like however it pans out to be. It's like being emotionally available and finding a match for those vibes, you know. And instead of it recreating everything that you fear or everything that you know, that has been harmful, hurtful, or repressive, I guess, in your life, it actually pans out to be better than the best case scenario. Like, think about, when you think about the Six of Cups, it's like, think about your first love, you know what I mean, where it was so innocent, so pure, so all consuming, you know, and there was, it was delicate, you know, there was, it wasn't tainted yet by what you had experienced before, by rejections, by betrayals, by, you know, by any of that. It's like having that regenerate, but in a frequency of which you are wise enough not only to know better of yourself and how to carry yourself and to hold the other person, but you're also mature enough to actually fully indulge in that feeling. You know, it's not quite puppy love. It's like puppy love, but full grown. You know, it's like the puppy love, but with the, you know, like the, you know, with some years, you know, some dog years on it. You know what I mean? Like the Six of Cups is in dog years, so to speak. So you're not a little pup anymore. Like, you're a full grown, whatever, insert your favorite dog here. But it still has that deep sensitivity, you know, that it did, in a way that makes it really sensational. I love that. And also, you're in a position to really maintain that because you know better at this point. It's not so fleeting. Wow, with the Moon card here. And it's and there's a mysterium about it. That's what I'm getting. There's a mysterium about it that I feel like the Moon card is like something to be unveiled, like a pleasant surprise. Yeah. It's like a pleasant, like I said, it's like something that you couldn't even cook up. If God said to you, give me your list of the most ideal aspects of love, And you do that, and you still, it's like God still surprises you. Like, okay, all right, nice, all right, all right. Now I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you this. This you didn't even ask for, but I know you need it. You know, like this you didn't even know you want, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. You know, like it just exceeds your expectations, certainly exceeds your past experiences. You know, it's deep. This moon card, it speaks to a depth to me that can't even be, it can't be predicted or projected. It just has to be experienced, and it goes beyond your fears and limitations as well. So you would have to have you would have to or have had to release your fears from the past in order to fully embrace this experience. All right, give me two more. Not doing too bad. That was almost a Seven of Pentacles. Long-term investments. Was that the Hermit again? Oh no, that was the King of Swords. That was the King of Swords, but definitely some honesty, integrity, and forwardness in decision making, you know, and in asserting oneself into a dynamic like that sword cutting straight to the chase. No illusions, no delusions, just only what is real, honest, and true. Now, don't get shy on me now. Oh, shoot. I ain't taking that because that just kind of like, I wasn't even, that just literally just hit off my finger. I'm not going to take that. But that was the Seven of, now I think, yeah, it's under the deck, so hold on. That was a Seven of, was it 7 or the 8? The 7 of Wands. No, it's no, it's none of this right now. Like, we've passed this stage of worry. We've passed this stage of fear. I almost didn't take it because it flipped out with 2 cards, but then the other one flipped over. But let's see. Yeah, we're beyond this fear and anxiety and sleepless nights about what shall be. You know, like we've talked ourselves way out of that by now. I didn't see what that was. It's like somebody trying to go back into their shell again. You know, like almost, it could even be a fear of it almost being too good to be true. Like they just when somebody gets ready to make that move, or having somebody having made, or you know, that does make the move, and it gets so deep, it starts to feel so good to them that they start to get anxious about what the future holds. Like, is this real? Is this like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? Am I okay to, you know, to relax? And that Seven of Wands is about like almost feeling a bit defensive or protective of your energy. Like that's just a natural impulse, you know, of security as human beings, especially when we're experiencing something that feels too good, or so it seems, or seems too good to be true. When we've had a lot of things that just weren't that great, it could be this fear trying to surface about repeating the past. But we've already established that the Six of Cups, it's not the worst of the past, it's the best of the past, but even that on steroids. So it could definitely trigger an anxiety in a sense, because it's just a sensation and a depth that's never quite been felt before without reservation, you know, or without some reason to feel without some reason to feel vulnerable, or some cause to feel vulnerable. It's okay. Let's see, what's on the other side of this? I wish I had seen what that other card was that tried to flip over to. That could have given some more context. One more. But it's the opportunity of a lifetime, as we've already established. It's the Ace of Pentacles. If you thought the Ten of Pentacles was an offer you couldn't refuse, I like to see you refuse a gift from the hand of God itself. I dare you. And then you will, though, that Nine of Swords will be you regretting what you didn't do, what you should have done, what you didn't take a chance on, what you didn't allow yourself to get used to accept, to receive. Yeah, something about, definitely preparing your heart and your mind to receive pleasure at this time, to receive things that not only feel good, but that really are good for you, that have value to you. And sometimes it's hard to really fully receive that, because as humans, we start to overthink and overreact about, well, what happens if I lose it? It feels real good now, but what if all of this goes away? Or what if I can't maintain it, or it slips through my fingers, or I do something to F it up, or I don't know, so many things you could be paranoid about on account of accepting what seems or feels like a really big gift. It may even feel like you may even feel undeserving of it. Like, damn, I asked for a loving relationship, but is this it? You know what I mean? Like, is this really all for me? I asked for, a partner that would love me for me, but damn, like, this feels crazy. You know what I mean? Like, am I tripping? Like, is this the real thing? Because it feels so big, so much bigger than you, and so precious is really what it comes down to, is that you want to handle it with care, but you almost wonder, do you have what it takes to handle it with care? And the answer is yes. If it's being offered, if it's being given, if it's being bestowed upon you, then that means that you've presented yourself worthy and trustworthy to receive it one way or another. The only person that could refute that by action, by word, by thought, by deed is you, because the divine is not going to dispute the gifts that it gives. Only we can really, turn that down or resist it. So, yeah, if there's any mystery about the worthiness of, and it really could be, like I said, like somebody, like your best prayer, for whatever this pentacle is, and it comes through, and it's like, you just don't expect to be so satisfied and so fulfilled in this way. You're not used to it. So it immediately triggers you to be cautious or skeptical. That's what it is, like skeptical. Which is the moon card with this mysterium. But no, it's just the stars are aligned. They just are. From whomever can resonate. Yeah, like the stars are just aligned at this time. Look at this, the Queen of Cups. And I'm gonna go this way because there's somebody still scouting Still scouting the scene, scouting the territory, plotting their approach with the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Still trying to get it right. You know, like, oh Lord, just jump in the rope at this point. Just jump in there, will you? Look, she look the lover with the world card. I didn't even really peep that how she almost looks like. Look at this. The lovers kind of looks like that energy of someone trying to like get in the rope, you know, like you feel me, like she jumping in, you know, she's already jumping in. So that means the ropes are turning and time waits for no man. So, like I said, it'll never be any better time than the present. It's this like somebody trying to gather all the intel on what somebody likes, what they don't like, what makes them tick, you know, trying to peep the scene. Do they have somebody? Do they not? You know, are they available? Trying to like gauge from a distance if somebody is available for love, or you know, like imagine somebody trying to like scope every aspect. It could even be like with the world card here, it could be somebody trolling, not trolling in a bad way, but like kind of stalking somebody's social media or whatever, like trying to see what they got going on, what they do on the weekends, what do they like to eat, how do they dress, you know, like all what do they, you know, like really somebody trying to gather all of the intel still so that they can make a perfect entrance or offer, but also buying their time to prepare themselves as much as possible for you know, to be the object of somebody's affection. That's what it's giving me here with the Page of Swords to the Queen of Cups. Is somebody still holding somebody with great reverence, you know, on a high, in high esteem, maybe even a bit on a pedestal. So pipe down. It's not that serious. We're all human in some form or another, you know, for the most part. So it's like, but it's really, it's the Queen of Cups because it's just the affinity there for someone. The, maybe perhaps the love that somebody feels that they might have, or at least the love that they suspect someone is full of or capable of, and they just want to be perfect. They just want to be the perfect guy, the perfect girl, the perfect match for the object of their affections. And it's sweet. And it's sweet, but look, like I said, time waits for no man. Life is too short to be trying to be perfect. And there's never any better time but the present to follow your heart and just see where it goes. In this case, it seems like somebody or somebodies are going to be pleasantly surprised the journey that it takes them on. So good luck and Godspeed. All right, I'm going to leave it there. That was really sweet. I like it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.